I'm Carole Leathem, and you're listening to a bonus episode of the Caretakers Journey podcast. I'm your host, and I want to welcome you to day 22 of our Caretakers 31-Day Resolve Challenge. Today is January 22nd, 2025, and our resolve is about limiting screen time. So grab your Post-it note and write, I resolve to reduce unnecessary scrolling or screen time use to focus on meaningful interactions. So why is this important? Well, I think limiting screen time is important for everyone, but especially for caretakers. It's essential for us to maintain our focus, encourage those meaningful interactions, and just improve our overall well-being. What does that look like? Well, when we reduce our screen time, we are more present in our caretaking moments. How many times do I sit there just scrolling while my husband is talking or while my mom is talking? And when we are more present, it improves the quality of our care and our connection with our loved ones. Constant screen exposure can lead to burnout. Unplugging can lead to mental clarity and relaxation. Did you hear what I said? Constant screen exposure can lead to burnout. Unplugging can lead to mental clarity and relaxation. We also set an example for those in our household when we demonstrate a mindful use of technology. It's important because people are watching us and our family members are watching us. And if they're watching me scroll while I'm talking to my mom or while I'm sitting there with my mom, they may feel like they can do it. And then no one is getting meaningful time. So did you know that screen time can also trigger you? How many times have you caught yourself scrolling to escape stress or boredom? I find myself doing that all the time. And when I recognize that this emotional trigger or pattern is happening, I'm more open to addressing it and finding a constructive way to deal with the stress or the boredom. It also helps us feel worse about our life because if I'm on social media and I'm scrolling and I'm looking at all of these people with these beautiful, perfect lives, and I'm feeling bored, stressed, overwhelmed, I might get triggered into feeling really sorry for myself, and then my mood just starts to plummet. But when we limit our screen time, or when we don't have those idle moments where we're reaching for a device and start scrolling, our moods improve. So we have to identify the times when we're idle. So I started paying attention to my idle moments, and I found that one day I scrolled for over an hour just watching these silly short videos that had no redeeming quality in my life. They weren't even really making me laugh. They were actually kind of making me feel bad about my life. And I had just wasted an hour watching them because they back them up and one goes and then the other and then the other. And before I knew it, I had sat there for an hour watching these videos. So what do I do different? Well, now if I'm going out of the house, I carry a book in my bag, a physical book. This keeps me from picking up my device and getting distracted. How many times do we pick up our device thinking, oh, I'm going to just check this. And then the next thing you know, 20 minutes has gone by and you've been on social media. We have to figure out when we have our idle moments and plan for alternative activities without using our devices. It's a hard one because I found out that it was really hard for me to put my phone down. So setting boundaries by creating a screen-free zone, like when I go out to lunch with a friend, it's a screen-free zone for me. I'm not paying or judging them, but my phone, last night we went out to dinner with friends, my phone never came out of my purse. It was on Do Not Disturb. I knew that my sister was with my mom, my husband was with me. There was no reason that in that 2-hour dinner, anybody really needed to get a hold of me. And so I just put my phone on Do Not Disturb, dropped it down in my purse, and never touched it while we were in the restaurant. I think it's important in your house to designate an area like a bedroom or even the caretaking space as a screen-free zone. I promise that you are going to be more relaxed and more present if you do this. Did you know that you can use apps that limit your screen time? My daughter and I were talking the other day, and she told me that she does this when she's going to go on social media. She has a daily limit of how much she can go on social media. And she uses this app to let her know when she's reached her limit and to stop. So I just set a timer, and when it goes off, I'm done. I have to put my phone down and I have to go do something else. So whether you use an app or the timer on your phone, set up a screen time and give yourself a limit. Give yourself a daily limit. And when you hit the limit, stop and walk away. So, how can we replace screen time scrolling with meaningful activities? Well, we can go back and look at some of the things that we've talked about in the other resolves: relaxation techniques, journaling, reading, scheduling a call with a friend, a Zoom coffee date. We can engage with the one we care for by sharing stories. I love to record my mom telling me a story. When I am there, which I'm getting ready to fly to Milwaukee for a couple of weeks, it's fun to do a puzzle with her. She really struggles with doing puzzles, but she loves it. And so when I'm there, I try to break out a puzzle and we sit at the table and we just talk. Sometimes I record her telling me stories. Sometimes we play a simple game. We like to go for a short walk, listen to music together, watch British TV together. She and I share a love for British TV. We can have conversations about our favorite shows. Sometimes her shows are from a few years ago, so I have to kind of stop and think, did I watch that one? But it's important. It's important to be connected. So to help me also limit my screen time, I set a preset an alarm or use my voice activated. So I don't even like to open my phone sometimes because I can get distracted really easy. So I might just go, hey, can you set an alarm to make sure I'm paying attention? And I now focus on quality over quantity. So I'm constantly evaluating my screen time. What am I looking at? How long am I looking at it? How do I feel when I'm done looking at it? And I'm paying attention. Do I see an improvement in my mood and attitude? If not, then maybe I need to look at a different thing. I have a lot of influencers that I follow for different reasons. And if I start feeling uncomfortable or not in such a good mood after watching or listening to their videos or watching them talk or something, I just delete it and move on to something else because I'm more productive and I don't feel mentally fatigued when I have limited my screen time and what I watch and what I take in. I get this, like I said last night, when I get this rare moment of getting away for an in person date, coffee date, or lunch date, or shopping. I know my caretaking or responsibilities are done like they were last night. I challenge you, when you get in that situation, turn your phone off. I hope that I have challenged you to evaluate your own scrolling habits and that some of these suggestions will help you implement them into your life and that you'll feel more balanced, relaxed, and productive. I am so thankful that you joined me today. If you know a caretaker, would you share the show with them using the links in the show notes below? My resources for these resolves, as always, is my book, Are You Ready to Find Joy When Life Gets Messy? If you want to know more about my caretaking journey, how it started, the link to purchase my book is below. And starting in February for 8 weeks, we will be doing a 8-week series on my book, not reading it, but talking about the tips and tools that I have learned along the way. If you want an in-depth copy of the Caretakers 31-Day Resolve Challenge, join my email list. That link is also below, and I'll let you know how to get it. As I close out today's episode, I want to pray for you. God, scrolling on our phones can be such an addictive thing. I know I've struggled with it. It's so easy to become distracted, and before you know it, so much time has been wasted and lost, and you can't get it back. And especially when I'm doing the caretaking with my mom, I want to cherish every moment. So I pray right now for the caretakers who are listening that they will find a way to evaluate their own scrolling, figure out if they need to change or make some adjustments, set some alarms, stop watching certain things, start watching certain things. God, I pray that they would find wisdom and direction to make their own choices for their own unique journeys. God, thank you as always for walking before us. God, I thank you for walking behind me and especially for walking beside me. I thank you for the privilege that you have given me of inspiring and encouraging the caregivers all over the world. And I pray, God, right now that they would feel seen and loved because they are important to you. We ask all of this in your precious Son's name. Amen. Let me say a blessing. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord look with favor on you and give you peace. I will be back tomorrow for day 23. And until then, it's all about him.